Hello everyone, this is Husky here, back with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm 1v1 action, and this time it's going to be more WCS games, and I know, guys, a lot of you have been saying, Husky, you've been casting a lot of WCS, what is going on with that? However, I would like to say that there have been so many amazing games, so many amazing players in the round of 8, that it is actually kind of a shame not to share them with the world. So even if you've seen some of these games, honestly, they are amazing, and actually, I can't hear. Hang on. We gotta change something right here so I can hear myself. There we go. Now we're talking. Oh yeah. For those of you who do not know, I actually do have headphones that I can hear myself when I commentate, and unfortunately, I had them muted, but they're soundproof, so I don't want to be throwing out my voice or anything like that. Anyways, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Up in the top left side, it is going to be EG Alive. We'll talk about both these players in just a moment, but down the bottom right side, it is going to be the blue Protoss player First, and First has won about $50,000 playing StarCraft 2. That does not include his salary, because honestly, we're never going to know what players' salaries are for the most part, and Alive has won over $100,000 in StarCraft 2. Now, as far as StarCraft 2 is concerned, that is actually pretty damn good. That's a lot of money won between these two players, and it kind of shows you that StarCraft 2 is still a game where the best of the best tend to make it to the end of tournaments. Sure, sometimes you're going to see really good players knocked out a little bit earlier in the tournament than you might expect, but for the most part, you very rarely will see someone who is quote-unquote undeserving of being in the higher ranks. The reason I say quote-unquote is because I think if you make it to the finals, you are always deserving, but there's rarely a player who's like, wait a minute, all he does is cannon rush. How the hell did he make it to the finals? That almost never happens in StarCraft. Don't really know if that happens in other games or not. We do have a probe over here. We got some probe on SCV action going down. But I know this is kind of unrelated, but I have a question for you guys. I just finished the show Fringe on Netflix. They just recently uploaded the last season of that, and I got to realizing that in that show, the last season is nothing like the first season. I don't want to spoil anything because it's actually an amazing show, but it starts out as kind of like a X-Files type show where they're investigating basically like weird activities that are going on. Not necessarily always aliens, but kind of just like weird stuff happening. And then the end of the show is like, well, I don't want to spoil it, but we're saving the world from invaders. It's basically what happens over the course of 5 seasons. I'm wondering, are there any other shows on Netflix that I can watch that start out as one thing, like Fringe, and then end on whatever season doing something completely different? Maybe even the name of the show doesn't match up anymore because it gets a little bit crazy. I'm wondering if there's any more shows on Netflix like that. So definitely let me know. Post a comment down below. But anyways, we're going to be having the Zealot going to be moving up here. Does he make it inside the main base? He almost does. That Zealot thought for sure that he could go the distance and run up there, but Alive is going to be way too good for that. Sure, his command center is going to take a little bit of damage, but 1 or 2 Marines, especially since he already has 2 barracks here, is going to be able to hold that off. Really, this Zealot is just here to try and prevent the transfer of workers as long as possible. If he actually manages to kill the orbital command, he will be a god amongst men, but I guess that's not going to happen. The Marines here are going to try and chase him down. The Marines, I don't think will be able to chase him all the way down either. Actually, look at this movement speed, 2.25. Guess what? 2.25 on the Marines as well. So even if the angles are bad for the Zealot, he's still going to go ahead and make it home safely. And First right now, what's he got going on? Well, he's just got the warp gate and a gateway. Pretty standard stuff over here. Does have a pylon in the back of his base where he could easily hide some DT tech. He could also go for a proxy robo, or he could just add on more gateways right now and have them ready as soon as his pylon is done. I want to say, though, it looks like he's going to do some sort of hidden tech, either Robo or Stargate or something like that. Oh, it is actually going to be a Robo. I was leaning more towards Stargate. That's one of those sentences where it came out of my mouth, and I'm like, he could go for a proxy Robo. And I'm like, oh, God, Husky, people never do that. Yet now you look like an idiot. Quick, save face by saying Stargate. And then he actually did go for a Robo. So I don't know if that makes me smart or makes me, like, twice as dumb. But either way, it does look like the Stalker right now. Got to try and break down this tower. 5 Marines is actually just enough to hold off a Stalker and a Zealot, especially using that foliage over there to be able to kind of secure that watchtower. Should be just fine. Bel'shir core going to be on the way right now. We're also going to be having, additional gateways kind of add on. 3-gate robo, completely standard. Obviously, really the only unstandard thing is the fact that this building is placed in the center of the map. Oh my god. Oh my god, if those Marines actually go over there. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's actually going to do it right now. Whoa! Whoa! My god, Alive. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How did he spot that? More Marines going to be on the way. I don't know if this Immortal is even going to survive. What? What? How did he know that? I am blown away. Very, very rarely will you see a scout like that actually be effective. Oh my god. I am seriously in awe right now. That Immortal is super dead. But at the same time, the Stalker is going to get some free shots off. Can the Immortal actually survive? The angle's pretty good. The Marines trying to chase it down, though it does go down. All of a sudden, Alive is just like, sup, son? This is too easy for breezy for me. However, the another pilot goes down. The Robo is not dead yet. We actually have a Warp Prism that will finish. Time Warp comes in here. So Alive may have actually overextended himself as he is slowly losing more and more Marines here. I mean, overall, he hasn't lost as much. Oh, does he get the motion core? No, he doesn't. Very close, though. And the Warp Prism now out. We also are going to be having the Zealots coming on through, and they're just going to go ahead and put those right inside. Motion core should go down here. What? Oh, okay, there it goes. That's going to be like, what? How did that not die? Either way, the Robo is now completely exposed. The Stalker going to be moving down out there. However, the Warp Prism is ready to go. There are no units back home for defense. Does Alive realize that this Warp Prism actually completed? I don't know if he does, because he is pretty soon going to be having lots of Zealots in his base. Now, keep in mind that Zealots have a hard time actually killing SCVs just because the SCVs can simply run away. However, if nothing else, it will be delaying the mining, which is super, super important right now. And doesn't manage to get too many SCVs just yet, but does get the ones that are still on gas, which is pretty huge. You can see right now that Alive does not have that much gas. He's apparently splitting up the DPS here to kill off these pylons, but the Zealots still going to town in here completely or relatively unchecked. Should be able to save those two and get the Warp Prism out of there. Keep in mind that Warp Prism speed got buffed quite a while ago at this point. Whoa, that angle. That angle, I don't know. Oh my god, what is with these controls going on here from this Warp Prism? Almost ends up losing it, but either way, does manage to save it right there. Did take a lot of damage, so I don't know if harassing with that is going to continue to be effective or not. There is an SCV right there that he could kill off with the Warp Prism, but is it even worth the APM at this point? As First right now, I think, has managed to at least stabilize a little bit, but that resources lost is absolutely devastating. Workers killed is only 6-2. It looks like Alive, though, is a little bit scared here. I mean, look at this, throwing down a missile turret at that natural. Also one in the main base. Not only is he worried about drops, he's also worried about DPs. This sentry's worried for his life. He's going to go ahead and get back home. But I got to say that Alive right now, definitely in pretty good shape. The APM is basically tied, so if this was an APM race, it would be about the same. But unfortunately, APM alone does not win you StarCraft 2 games, especially in the WCS Finals round of 8. We do have more gateways going to be on the way for First, and Alive just going to be sticking to his guns here, going Marine and Marauder. The main concern I have for Alive right now is that he doesn't stay back too long on this Marine and Marauder tech. I mean, we've seen players like Tasia be able to win games, super late game versus Protoss with Marine and Marauder. But I want to say it's still not really an ideal situation, I feel like, for Terran. You want to try and do some sort of aggression in the mid-game. That's all I'm saying. You don't necessarily want to sit back until 30 minutes into a game. Then you're going to be dodging Storms. You're going to be dodging basically Archon shots. You're going to be dodging Colossus. And these are some of the things we actually have on the way right now. Psionic Storm being researched, and that's tough for Terran to deal with. One miss mic. I think all Terran players out there know this feeling. One miss micro with your Marine and Marauder, all of a sudden your entire army is dead to those Storms. One hero SCV here got to try and scout. He does actually survive. We'll see if he just retires back home for a long life of mining more safely. Either way, though, it does look like the Warpers are going to be moving on in. Keep in mind that there are a couple units here. Big Stim should actually be able to kill off these units relatively easily. Will lose a couple, but there is enough stuff here to clean these up. This is going to be a non-cost-effective battle for First. He's going to continue to warp in. Zealots, though, may be enough to start turning the tides of killing this off. Ooh, SCVs did have to get pulled off the line. That's going to even out the resources lost overall. It's also going to reduce the amount of mining that can obviously take place here. 10 workers have been killed off. Alive is going to move out this army. I don't know if this is a good time here now. This is almost the anti-timing with the Storms. Going to be able to kill off so many of these units before Field's cutting this army in half. And this is what I was worried about for Alive, is that sure, he has a lead, sure, he's got a nice army, but if he does not micro correctly versus that Storm, that is going to be it. And look at that, 1 or 2 Storms away from completely tying this up. Supplies are basically the same. He does have his 3rd base up, though, and this is a little bit before First is able to get his up. And look at this, 4 mules at this expansion. It looks like currently that those mules will go completely uncontested. That's going to boost up that income by a lot, bringing up to 2,300 for a couple of seconds there. And Alive right now needs to continue being aggressive on the map. It's going to be up to First to just make sure not to get surrounded, not to have a trap set up, and to try to continue to harass if possible. Was he able to get any more workers? Just one overall. But either way, First's army, I'm kind of curious in the army supply overall, 54 to 59. I want to say this actually favors Alive right now, although his angle not the best for him. He was hoping to get a big counterattack in. But guess what? This army, relatively immobile, but still able to get back and defend the locations that he needs to, and is able to save that here. So it does look like right now, First is stabilizing once again. Sure, he's a little bit behind in supply. That's mostly just those mules kicking in, though. War Prism over here could get taken out. Looks like it will for sure go down. That's going to be 3 Zealots inside, plus, of course, the War Prism supply here. And it does look like First, again, just managing to hang in there. I mean, he is losing more and more stuff right now, but has managed not to get completely eliminated. Kind of curious on the army supply. I think that's going to speak volumes about this game, though. 81 army supply to 60. That's showing you that Alive has a little wiggle room right here. He just needs to make sure not to get hit by those force fields. Getting Ghosts right here is brilliant timing on that at the 15-minute mark. That's a lot earlier than you'll see some Terrans actually be able to get Ghosts out. So the fact that he's in a spot to be able to do that, that bodes quite well for him. If he can get the good shots, the good EMPs off, then he should be okay. Even the good snipes should be more than enough, because honestly at this point, First is only at Zealot, Stalker, Sentry here with a couple of High Templar mixed in. We don't actually see any Colossus on the way just yet. In fact, we're only seeing the Robo Bay go down right about now. So there are Ghosts now in this army. They do spawn with enough energy to be able to EMP, so that army is ready to roll out. One pylon over here gets spotted. That's going to be telling Alive that basically First is kind of hurting for another expansion. We do have lots of units moving out for First, though. Is he going to be going for counterattacks? Is he going to be going for drops? Or will he actually try to engage this army directly? Well, we're about to find out. Looks like the first option behind door number 1 is indeed going to be drops. Once again, though, it does look like this will be held off. 0 attack and shield, but also +2 armor is done. We do have 1-1 on the Marine and Marauders. Zealot's going to be warping in here once again inside the main base. It looks like there's going to be a drop down bottom right side as well. This is some very valuable tech going to be taken out here. The Forge as well as the Twilight Council. No more upgrades out of there, but the counterattack's going to be pretty fierce right now. Looks like there's going to be a 3-pronged battle taking place here. There is now one inside, I guess, the natural / 3rd place choke point, and our 3rd base choke point, not 3rd place. This is not a racing game, unfortunately. But either way, Live there is cleaned out, and at the same time, these Zealots going to get cleaned up as well. So it seems like it was about the same amount of damage, but I gotta say, First is just taking so much damage overall throughout this game. 6,400 resources lost to a mere 3,900 for Alive, and sure, Alive is going to lose this drop, but look at this. Alive is already maxed out. This is the situation that Terran players love to be in. You have an army size advantage, you have a slight tech advantage. However, that tech advantage has officially dried up now as the first Colossus spawns, especially once Thermal Lance gets done. And you may be saying, Husky, why is that a tech advantage going away? Take a look at the units tab. How many Vikings do you see? The answer is 0. So that Colossus gets on the front line. This could be all over for Alive as far as being able to use purely Ghosts. Bad control on the Ghosts there. Going to be losing a couple of Ghosts. You have to keep these Ghosts alive, because now you need to start transitioning into Vikings. And if you're going for the Vikings, you need to also have Marauders to back them up. But either way, it does look like this base will be killed off and canceled. It is 3 bases to 3. Alive looking to maybe go ahead and expand down here, but it's going to be quite tough for him, as we do have Alive now going to be continuing just to roam around the map. War Prism harassment is continuing. The Ghost trying to take it out. The missile turret's like, no, that's actually quite easy. Look at that. There's War Prism giblets on the barracks right there. But right now, I'm just trying to see, what should Alive be doing? Should he be going for map control, or should he try to end the game? I feel like he's been maxed out for quite some time. And normally versus Protoss, if you're maxed out and they're not, as Terran, it is time to attack. We'll see, though. He's going to be running up the ramp with these Ghosts. Not so sure about this. He does manage to land one EMP. The other EMP goes down, and at this point, it is all down to these Colossus. There's some Storms on the left side as well, though. Uh-oh, this angle is going to be horrible for Alive. He has nowhere to micro. He's going to be losing so many units right here. The trap has been sprung. The trap card has been activated. Alive throws his army away in the most one-sided battle I think I've ever seen in TvP. The trap absolutely worked out perfectly. Sure, the Ghost survived, but at the same time, first realizing I am not getting another chance like that. Look at that. Actually almost able to even that out in a huge battle where he had an army disadvantage. The Ghosts here trying to get away, may have to turn around just to EMP to try and keep themselves alive, or at least do as much damage as possible as all the Ghosts get taken out here. All of a sudden now Alive is going to be on the defensive end. Does he have enough units right now? Does he have the concave established? SCV's pulled off the line, or maybe just in the wrong place at the wrong time. EMP's blanketing this army. Vikings are now out. There's not a whole lot of anti-air, so the Vikings will be able to chase away the Colossus. First says, you know what, it's not worth it to lose these Colossus. I'm going to back out and begin the full-on retreat. Does look at the Vikings are going to be able to take out one Colossus there. Does he decide to continue forward? But you got to remember that even after losing all of that, First has still lost more. He's still a base down, and his army supply, or at least overall supply, is still behind. Army supply 108 to 102, so technically ahead in the army supply. Worker count, though, 75 to 62. There's got to be a big attack over here. I think that this planetary will go down. Oh my god, those SCVs. What? He was ahead in supply, but no longer. Resources lost again, getting closer and closer the longer this game goes on. It does look at the Zealots right now, going to continue to go into this third base here. And more storms at the top of the ramp. Somehow Ghosts unable to land the EMPs that they need to. This game is absolutely out of control for both these players. Major swings in army sizes here for both of them. Alive right now needs to figure out a way to chase this down. A big drop going down over here, trying to continue to harass. It looks like the Marauders will be able to continue just burning down these Zealots. Enough have eventually warped in, it looks like. But this Zealot right here, man, he was the linebacker. He was the one absorbing all of that damage just to buy the other Marauders a little bit of time. Medevac going to move out down to this base over here. There's actually nothing in this location. I think the Zealots are giving chase, and they are quite fast. But either way, this is going to be buying Alive a little bit more time. He's actually technically behind in supply right now. I'm not sure if he's going to save those. Yes, he does decide to pick them up, but this will give him map control and also the ability to potentially attack this base down here. Now, I think that First knows that. He's going to go ahead and get himself into a good position to be able to defend this, and this is where one of the major epic battles could take place. These two Marauders are still alive. Surprisingly enough, I think they are going to get taken out here by these two Zealots because of core focus fire. It does look like the War Prism will get taken out. Nothing actually inside that War Prism, though, so not a major loss. Can always just rebuild that. We do have Blink now going to be on the way. Oh my god, the Twilight Council actually survived. Are you kidding me? 5 HP on that thing? Literally like one shot away from going down, but no, now he's going to be able to get Blink on the back of it, so Blink plays a major role here. Then I think he wished he would have killed that off. But either way, we do have High Templar going to be on the way for First right now. And honestly, this is still anybody's game. I can't believe they actually managed to secure these fourth bases that are this close to each other. Normally, you're going to be seeing opposites so that they are further away from their opponent. But either way, both these players now have lots of bases. There is going to be a sensor tower coming on up. That's going to prevent drops on that side as well as potential counterattack. Or it will at least, I think, make First have to think twice about counterattacking over there. Sure, a couple units get taken out, but at this time, I want to say that First does have an advantage. He's losing some stuff over here. Looks like the Zealot's going to be going for a big counterattack. Actually, nothing over there to defend. Having to stem these units half to death just to make it over there. But either way, I think that First still has a slight advantage right here. He's cleaning up these drops. He's able to do counterattacks, able to delay the mining, able to even just kill off more and more units right now. The sensor tower is up, but that doesn't matter. He's going to kill that off right away. However, I have a feeling that Alive knows what's headed his way, which is a major attack. Storms coming down. Unfortunately, unable to land them on the Time Warp. The Time Warp Storm combo is just brutal. As First right here showing you, you know what? I'm starting to have the things that that Protoss needs to be able to beat late game Terran, and that's exactly what we're seeing so far. The Zealots here still unchecked. Sure, more Marine stimming to run over here, but how much mining time has been lost? Overall income is actually favoring First right now for one of the first times in the game. But oh, High Templar get taken out at the cost of 0 ghosts. That's going to be worth it. Don't say it to that Marine, but as long as you keep those ghosts alive, you can kill an infinite amount of High Templar. It does look like SCV's pulled off the line right now. This is going to add to the amount of workers that have been killed, 30 to 19. That number is still rising, 34, and it's going to go a lot higher here in just a moment. The storms over here, though, completely ridiculous. How are these storms being landed by First, doing the near impossible? The Stalker's going to get out of there. Colossus still alive as well. Finally gets cleaned up on this side. It does appear as this is just going to be burning down. I don't even know if Alive could save that if he wanted to. He'd have to bring an SCV all the way across the map, and it does look like right now Alive is kind of running out of options. I mean, he allowed Protoss to get to that late game, and he's got to be paying the ultimate price. 2 attack, 3 armor on the Protoss upgrades. You have 3-3 for Terran. I don't know if 1 upgrade advantage is going to be enough. This Nexus should go down. He needs to kill the Nexus here for sure. The probe's not as important right now if they have nowhere to mine. Ghosts there need to be careful. He has to kill his Nexus. He absolutely has to. He is going to be able to, as well as a couple of the probes here, so that's going to be a win-win. However, DTs are now loose on the field, and this is where DTs actually start to be really annoying because there's just not that many command centers. The base over here also being taken out, which is no good whatsoever. DT's got to be moving into this expansion. That turret's going to go down immediately as he starts to focus it down. Alive being pulled every which way, and at the same time, first, sure, he lost another base, but at the same time has 1 more mining base than his opponent. Actually, he has multiple mining bases over his opponent here. You can see 1,300 to 0, literally 0 income now for Alive. Forced to long distance mine, and that's not going to be ideal. At this point, honestly, you know what Alive needs to do? He needs to go all in. He needs to lift off his buildings, float them to the corner of the map, and just hope that he can win this major battle. We'll see if he's actually able to do that. EMPs on these Archons could be vital. Storms could be even more vital, though. The High Templar do get taken out. Lots of High Templar go down there. A very crucial battle about to take place here. More EMPs, and that means those Archons are basically at 0 HP. 1 or 2 shots from this army will kill them off. More EMPs landing. You can see first is in full retreat. Here come High Templar on the left side, though. The Storms are landed. Storms do kill off a Ghost or 2. Those Ghosts are much more useful right now than the High Templar are, if that makes sense. Basically, losing a couple High Templar to kill a couple of Ghosts is worth it, because Alive has a supply advantage. He has an economy advantage, although he is going to be forced to engage right here. Can Alive actually break up this ramp? It's got to be tough. He needs to do it, though. Keep in mind, at the same time, his main base is dying. He's got to kill off every single thing here. He's managed to kill off the army. Is there enough reinforcements on the way? 2 more Colossus being produced. There's a big warping of DTs, forcing one of the last few remaining scans, and Alive is down and almost out here. He's only got a couple few units remaining. His main base is going to be going down, but he's not done just yet. Has a couple more medevacs here to begin healing up this army. The Colossus has spawned, but no, gets taken out by the Vikings. The Alive army refusing to die. Can he make a comeback here or not? It's going to be tough because he's not going to have any scans. His orbital commands are going to be going down. He needs to lift them up. If any DTs get in the mix right now, then this could be it. DTs are warping in somewhere. I'm not sure where. Oh, they're going to be taking out the Vikings here. 2 DTs clean up every single Viking, except for the last 2 that actually managed to survive. Alive trying to unpower everything. He knows DTs are the main threat. He's looking for the Dark Shrine. Where's the Dark Shrine? He finally finds it. Needs to focus it down. Needs to take out the High Templar as well. He's running out of options, so I don't think he can scan. He's only got a few remaining units right now, and 84 supply to 44. The big storm there. The perfect storm to clean up the army. That High Templar single-handedly won the game, and he is proud of it. Obviously, everything leading up to that moment also won him the game. Oh my God, game number 1 between these 2 players actually out of control. You know, I wasn't going to cast more of these games, but after that game, I think I need to jump right into game number 2 between these 2 monsters of players. This is why I love watching Koreans. They basically make StarCraft an art form. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.